You mentioned in that meeting you were going to go do a site visit because we were concerned with that drilling pad, if it was on Corps land or not.
Right.
And did you do the site visit?
We did. We verified that.
I'm following up with this. I'm going to be giving you a letter tomorrow asking for a report on that.
We've got the report on that.
Okay, thank you. And another thing is right now, as we're speaking, their drill is on that pad. And there's discussion that Dakota Access is going to drill that under whether they got an easement or not. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, so we've heard those discussions, but they're incorrect. I've warned Dakota Access Pipeline. Now, you know, when after our meeting, I did what I said I was going to do, and I was going to ask Dakota Access to stop work for 30 days, in addition to not signing the easement for 30 days. They decided not to do that. And further, because they felt our actions were in total non-compliance with the law, they have said we're going to work until the point that there's no work to do anymore, which means technically they can drill. They can drill about 200 feet before they actually hit Corps land. So it wouldn't be surprising to see a drill on the pad, which I believe it's there today. It wouldn't be surprising to see them to start drilling, but they know that they're in violation of federal multiple laws, which I will pursue if they touch anything on Corps land without an easement. And they've got that laid down as a marker, and they know, and they're going to pursue it anyway. They've made a huge financial decision to put that drill rig on there before we have the easement resolved. And once again, I can't speak to their actions or why they're doing that. I would refer that back to DAPL.
We thank you for that stand, but we are here to talk about easement and how we can impact it from our viewpoint. And we do have other federal people here.
Well, I'm going to get to the BIA. My next one was Kyle Thompson. He was a Dakota Access employee who come into the camp, who had an AR-15, who shot, I seen a video where he shot 2 rounds, and I was told that they were real rounds. And I asked the BIA, he was turned over to the BIA gave him the FBI gave him the Morton County, he was released the same day. I asked for that report. BIA on the ground said you have to file a Freedom of Information. We filed it. Mr. Roberts, he said I will get you that report by Friday. I still haven't gotten that report. And I told the colonel that, to me, you guys are taking this lightly because he didn't even know where this incident happened. It was a Corps land in that water when he fired them 2 shots.
So that's correct. There's been very limited access into the land around the encampments for a lot of reasons. I don't have any tracking of who's going in and out of that land right now. You guys control the gates in and out. The only news I have of that incident is what you guys have briefed me, and I would have to refer that back to law enforcement. It's unfortunate. The whole situation's unfortunate, but those are public lands. That means anybody has access to them at this point, and it's one of the reasons why I advocated why those camps would be better located inside the reservation so that there's at least some jurisdiction for the tribes to exercise peace and security patrols and law enforcement for the people who would come into the camps. And right now, that just doesn't exist.
So why was there charges on it?
I'm not in the business of law enforcement. You'd have to ask Morton County or the FBI or whoever he was turned over to.
And I did ask the U.S. Attorney's Office, Randy Seiler, and he said, I'll get back to you tomorrow. He never did.
And I'm sorry for that. But I can't speak for those actions, and I don't defend them either.
My name is Brandon Sazu, chairman of the Crow Creek Sioux Tribe.
It's good to see you.
My number is number 137 on that day. I was arrested too. I got one question for you. If the Dakota Access Pipeline decides to drill under Corps land, will you physically stop them?
If they drill without an easement, yes. I will request federal level law enforcement to come in and to cease work. Not only that, they know that, well, I won't get into that. They know that could put their whole project in danger by doing that. I don't expect them to drill any further than what they're already permitted to.
Thank you.
With regards to them guys drilling, do you have a monitor right now ensuring they're not drilling into Corps land?
There's monitors on site.
Thank you.
Corps monitor. Back in May, we already seen things coming. We've written a letter through our Attorney General at home to ask Randy Seiler to provide protection for our people to exercise their First Amendment rights. And he assured us, he said, as long as they're on federal land and non-violent, they will be protected. But that hasn't happened. I mean, the Army Corps allowed the state of North Dakota to tear gas our people and shoot them with rubber bullets while they were on Corps land. They were just trying to cross a river. It's all on Corps land. And, you know, Mr. Seiler told us that they would be protected by the federal government, and they worked.
Now that bridge is blocked north of the camp. That's Corps land, that goes all the way across right there. Who authorized it to block that bridge? That's Corps land. That bridge is. Think about that. You know, you look at the boundaries. We've been fighting with the Corps since we flooded our land. We've been fighting the Corps for that taken area. And where you're praying, and then you got the Morton County coming down, and around that island where that tree's at, that's Corps land. But they got all their stuff up there. They got all their lights up there. They got vehicles, ATVs up there on Corps land. As long as you have red skin, as long as you have our Indian blood, we're fighting perpetually against the government. You know? As Lakotas, we're born to protect this earth. You know, we're born into it, whether you have a choice or not. That's why we're here. So we look into that. Someone who is taking notes, look into that about that road, blocking that bridge. Those are federal monies that built that bridge. You guys are saying that's 1806. It's a highway, it's the state. But when it goes in those low-lying areas, they needed someone's permission to make that.
Sir, kind of just for the bridge, you know, the incident.
If we could use a mic, the people out in the gallery said they want to hear what we're saying up there.
So, first of all, the bridge is actually a DOT jurisdiction. That's an easement that comes through Corps land, and they monitor the right of way on the road.
So
Secondly,
that's
the reason the bridge is closed, from what I understand from the state of North Dakota, is after the water protectors come back across and they lit 2 National Guard dump trucks on fire, which are still on the bridge.
No, they're about 40 feet away.
So
I walked up.
I'm just telling you that after the fire on the bridge, there was concerns about the integrity and the safety of the bridge, and so they chose to close it until they could get inspectors in there to look at. Now I'm just talking on the behalf of North Dakota because they're not here, but I just want to provide some balance to the statements. It wasn't an arbitrary closure of the bridge. They had to close it out of safety concerns after there was a pretty significant fire out there. So that's their concern, and I just say that to say, you know, there's a lot of things going on out there, and I really appreciate the perspective. But there's law enforcement on the Hill, and I would love to have the thought experiment of turning this a little bit and saying, what if you were in my position and you saw what was going to be imminent danger for a lot of people getting hurt again by running up that hill? And as Chairman Fraser said, we didn't know if they were going up there and praying. We didn't know if they were tribal members or protesters or Red Warriors. We had no idea. Nobody had any idea. We had no idea who it was. But if it was, as you said, we have a responsibility to protect. As leaders, we have a responsibility to try to minimize injuries and loss of life out there. At the time, it seemed like a very wise decision. Actually, I wouldn't say a wise decision. It just seemed like the best decision out of a selection of all bad decisions. And I don't think status quo or letting it go was going to keep any less people from getting hurt or arrested. Because we didn't know if they were going to go pray. If they were going to pray on Corps land, you should have did it like Miss Faith did over here and asked for a permit, and we would have facilitated that. But there was no permission. There was a bridge, which we would never permit, a bridge built across waters of the state and the U.S., a dangerous bridge, which would have endangered people's lives. People made a choice to get in the water. Nobody told them they had to get in the water. And they made a choice to charge and up the hill. And so then we had this confrontation. And I'm not defending the law enforcement actions. I don't know. I was not there. But I just want to provide some perspective to the deal at the bridge and why there's folks on the hill. In the end, it gets back to after the root cause of what we feel is a responsibility to protect life and prevent injury out there. And what's a very bad situation. And given the facts and circumstances, I would love as a thought experiment to lay that out as a case study to see if you as leaders would have made a different decision. Because I would love to learn from that, honestly.
They would have consulted first.
Yeah, I
Colonel
would
Henderson.
have sat down with a lot of tribes, everybody involved, and said, what should we do?
We had about 10 minutes to make that decision.
But you knew that was out there. You knew from way back. You know, you knew.